Mike. Hi, everybody. I'm going live at my house right now. Annabelle and I are doing some home projects. But look at this. You know, Annabelle doesn't like my scented candles. Do you guys like candles? I love candles. So look at this. I got all my candles out here. I could, in this way, the wind can blow. And the candle, this one already blew out, though.
You're not showing the candle enough. Tilt down.
Tilt down? Well, here. Oh, I can flip it around. So anyway. There's my Spielberg effect. Okay, so here's the candles. What do you think? Isn't that lovely? I'm loving these candles. How many of you love candles? So anyway, so Annabelle picks up stuff, you know, people, she does furnishing families and she gets all kinds of stuff. It's hilarious. We're kind of like Sanford and Son around here. That's what my brother says. I'm not being critical, honey. I'm just saying we got all kinds of stuff, you know, from estate sales, and then she's trying to give it away at all the Section 8 housing. But some of them don't need everything. So check this out. We got these. Can't we take a vote on this one? Annabelle doesn't like it when I'm always exposing. My family's always worried that I'm giving too much revelation. All right, so here we go, hon. So, hon, what do we have these really cool, like, hi, Ruth Ann. So look at this. She's so strong. It's like an Amazon woman. So I got these really cool things here, right?
That's what happens.
Where would we put it?
You buy stuff at an estate.
Can we put it in front of these doors?
No, but you could probably put it on
Why
this
not?
wall. Well, try it in front of the door. Show it. It's the wrong size.
See if it looks. I think it looks neat.
It's wider than the door, babe.
It's wider than the door.
That's the problem.
Well, I don't care. So it's how many times do we use those doors?
Oh my God. Okay.
Don't think we can put two of them there?
Well, I wouldn't. It doesn't even reach the top. But how about this wall? You could just mount it on the wall.
Oh no, it's not an art piece. It's a door thing.
Well, okay.
Well, you see the problems, people. Anyway, so.
Don't worry, Ruth Ann.
Just at home. I'm working at home. I was going to be at a Turning Point. They had a great conference in Gainesville I was going to go to, but I had to do some work here in the studio. So, my new set, my candles. What I wanted to talk to you about is the fact that I'm going to revamp what I'm doing for the show. Because, you know, I'm kind of frustrated because I really feel like the news analysis is okay. I mean, I do War Room and stuff like that with Real America's Voice. But there's something missing, and it's been bothering me. And I'm realizing what we need is a 7M War Room. In other words, it's not enough to just cover what's going on. Like you look at Dutch Sheets does his, give him 15 or something every day, and he does a Bible study. A lot of people get a lot out of the Bible study and prayer. And I'm thinking we need to integrate, synergize, put together. I'm trying to get my candles in here, my new idea. I want to do a different approach. And it would literally be a 7M war room. Because we got warfare now on the campuses with revival happening. The big one is we got judicial activism. The left couldn't stop Trump in the election. They couldn't stop him with locking him up like they did with Peter Navarro and Steve Bannon. They couldn't stop him with assassination, the crazies. So now they found their full court press because here's what they got. They got 700 low-level district court judges. That's 700 low-level district court judges. That's the lowest level of federal judiciary. But they're coming through the Marxist education process. So they're all like these activists, Obama, you know, Biden type judges. These are the ones that let cities go through riots and let criminals on the streets. I mean, they're a mess. But these 700 people in black robes, they sit on 994 judicial districts. Now, they're all over the country. Basically, they cover a county or, you know, a small city or town or jurisdiction. But they have the ability to actually paralyze the federal government because if they want to overreach, this is the word, overreach. It's these 994 judicial districts cover like a state or a small part of a state. And that's all they're supposed to cover. Now I just got bumped off. It's starting to happen again where I get bumped off when I'm saying something somebody doesn't like. It makes me so mad. Come on, Facebook. You guys are supposed to be working with Trump now, right? So, like when George Bush was president for 8 years, he was only hit with a nationwide injunction 6 times. It was in 8 years. there was Donald Trump in his first administration got hit 64 times, more than half of all the injunctions since 1960 were on Trump in his first administration. And now, like in the last what month and a half or so, they're doing an injunction on everything. You can't take criminals out. You can't deport. You can't take transgenders out of the military. You can't shut down excess weight in empty buildings, excess waste. And so what I'm saying to you is U.S. aid money, billions of dollars, was being cut off. I mean, who needs $50 million for condoms for Gaza? I mean, what the heck is that anyway? They got 1 million people there. What are they doing all day? Building tunnels and killing Jews is what I thought. So, but you got Sesame Street being funded in Iraq. But here's the problem. So Amy Coney Barrett and Justice, the Chief Justice, they're unreliable now because they're voting. They're voting more like liberals. So if you want to say, well, we're going to take this stuff to the Supreme Court, well, lots of luck, because I don't trust the Supreme Court as much. See what I'm saying? That's why I want to do the 7M War Room. I think we got to cover the news, the facts, what's happening. We have to lay it out, but then we have to go into the prayer mode. And I recognize that everybody's going to be into it, but I could care less. I think the people that are watching should have like 2 or 3 minutes of spirit-led intercessory prayer. More will be accomplished by discussing what's happening in academia, in the courts, in the strategies of the Marxist demons to paralyze. What Trump is doing has never been done in American history. He's trying to address the waste, the fraud, the open borders, the collapse of boundaries, the lawlessness, really the collapse of Christian influence within culture, so that every hedonistic, individualistic, bizarre appetite has a champion now that at a district court level will take on the federal government and paralyze it. This is a crisis, and if it goes to the Supreme Court, my concern is, you saw that look that Amy had? I put it on Twitter, X, where she was like glaring at Trump after his State of the Union. You could see in the look like, here's somebody who's like captured by something. And I'm not trying to say, more than is there, but I'm just telling you, then she voted on behalf of USAID, almost like there's a problem. We don't even have the Supreme Court as we once had it. So what we have now is, you know who I really regret? That Trump and DeSantis. I wish Donald Trump would have the ability to reframe on DeSantis, because he almost needs. To be honest with you, I like Mike Johnson, and I'll meet him, and when I meet him, I'm going to like him even more. I already know that. But you need a DeSantis in charge of the House. You almost need him to run in Congress again and be herding cats over there with the Republicans, because the guy is the only governor, and you know this for a fact, he's the only governor that would constantly make decisions like Trump. And in the state of Florida, he ran it like Trump's trying to fix America. Right on down to election integrity. So he says that Congress everyone's going to talk about impeach, but that's just like, it's an adolescent impulse, because it takes 60 members of the Senate. The Democrats in the Senate are finding their only team scoring points are the district judges. They're going to back the judicial restraint argument that only it's a judicial restraint on the executive branch, and we have to trust. And so we have got to. Chief Justice Roberts even made an indiscreet moment. Now, he didn't say anything when Schumer really threatened all the courts. He didn't come out there. He didn't say much when Kavanaugh was having an assassination attempt on him and Antifa was on his lawn. But he spoke suddenly when Trump said, we got to impeach these judges. He said, oh, wait, you can't talk about that. So there you go. Chief Justice Roberts and Amy are my concern. They're not reliable conservatives as we had hoped they would be. So you don't have a 6-4. You may lose with some of these decisions. But DeSantis has made sense. He said Congress funds. They have the power of the purse. They also have the power of jurisdiction. they can redefine and clarify what is the jurisdiction reach of the district judge. The judges, I've said this for a long time, you want to solve the problem in D.C., where the D.C. courts are all packed. That's why they wanted to get Trump, Navarro, Bannon into those court cases in the districts where they have the courts locked up on their liberal side. So they would charge their Alvin Bragg or Fannie Willis. They do it in a district or in a county where they could have clout, and then they go after you. So conservatives don't do that. I mean, my gosh, we've got conservative AGs, we've got conservative district attorneys, we've got conservative judges. They don't do that because they work with the constraint of what conservatives are. They play nice and they play polite and they play by the Marcus of Queensberry rules, and everybody else is out there with knives and razor blades. So what DeSantis says is the Congress has the power to restrain and redefine or refund the district courts and limit their jurisdiction and overreach. So it doesn't have to go up to a Supreme Court battle, which will take 60 days. Meanwhile, that judge is doubling down that wanted to have MS-13 and the Tren de Alagra gang back in the United States so that he could review whether or not the Alien and Sedition Act actually applies. A district judge, again, going to review what the president's prerogative is. If he wants to stop transgender surgery and hiring for the military, district judge says, oh, you can't stop that. Doesn't matter if you're commander-in-chief. A district judge, one of those 700 guys in robes, not capes, mind you, they're not superheroes, they're just robes, at the lowest level of court, if they're in the left, they'll stop the president of the United States. So we are experiencing a constitutional crisis, and I don't want the case to go to the Supreme Court. Here's what would have to happen, and it's a Hail Mary. But Congress has got to review the reach of district courts, and then we have to have a solid majority. I think Chip Roy, who's had some outs with Donald Trump, but he's actually a good fighter here in Texas. He's saying that we need to redefine the district judge's authority in Congress. That's where it comes from. Makes sense so far? Because you're not going to impeach him, even though you're going to all talk about him, bang the pots and pans. You're not going to impeach him because the Democrats won't impeach him. Excuse me. Anybody doesn't like my fragrance candles. I think now I'm inhaling them and realizing why I'm getting toxically poisoned. But boy, does it look nice to have candles. I mean, come on, don't you love candles? Have a nice romantic night with your wife, and then she has an asthma attack because you've got candles. Anyway, where was I? So, but if this midterms has me worried because typically you lose seats, and then if we lose seats in the midterms, the courts are going to be like on steroids, and then Hakeem Jeffries is going to be backing judicial courts. The courts are trying to stop the overreach of a despotic king. Trump is over, blah, blah, blah. And they're going to try to impeach Trump because of the abuse of executive powers. And it's going to happen. It's going to happen. But what if the MAGA movement, and for once the Christian base, that is the 30 or 40 million that are out there, didn't sit out the midterms, but actually rose up and got engaged? What if we picked up 5 seats in the House because we're so miffed at this blocking of our ability to downsize bloated government that's $2 trillion over debt every year and printing every 88 days another $1 trillion. Trump's trying to beef up the economy to 3.2% GDP in order to get ahead of the debt so he could back up into it without having to kneecap social services and have a crisis with AOC screaming on TV how Trump is killing people by cutting off necessary services to feed so the oligarchs all get what they want. Notice the oligarchs. Remember when Biden's putting awards around Soros's neck and the Tides Foundation, Rockefeller Foundation, all those big shot billionaires on the left that fund the transgender movement. Nobody talks about the oligarchs on the left until Elon Musk lets his Tesla dealerships get shot, his stock get killed, doesn't take a paycheck and goes to expose the fraud in the government. And the left freaks out. We have to take the House. Understand, there's a way forward, but it's a narrow path, and it's not usually done in midterms. You got to take the House. It's like a 16-month plan right now, and we have to block the judicial activism of these 700 district judges, because I do not trust the Supreme Court to solve this problem, and neither should you. Okay, that's my argument right now. By the way, I tell people all the time, just take a look while you're at it. I got lancewalnut.com/gold. I think that's where it is. Gold in the era of Trump. Gold has gone up with all this instability that's going on economically and in the world markets. Everyone's buying up gold. It's gone up to $3,000 an ounce. That's weird. But silver is going to be coming up. I think somebody is aggressively buying up silver right now, because silver is used for mechanical devices, for science and stuff. It's not just a jewelry or an investment. But I mean, what I remember gold was like 2,000 a while ago. So it's gone up like 50% in the last 2 years or something crazy. I'm just telling you, take a look at it. lancewalnut.com/gold, and get gold in the era of Trump, because their speculation is going to go up to maybe $4,000 or $5,000. It's quite possible. And I'm not I'm not knowledgeable on all that stuff, but I follow finance, and I follow the economics, the global economics, and I follow the connection of how the left utilizes every weapon they've got in the arsenal. And I'm concerned. They were out to collapse our economy. I mean, when you have 10 million illegals coming in, understand something. Trump's just getting out, trying to get 50 to 300 to 500. It's not enough. I mean, you have 10 million that are on the government payroll right now, illegally. They're not paying taxes, but they are getting government funding. And it's 10 million that came in under Biden. That the boat is like sinking like this, $2 trillion every 30 days. I'm sorry, $1 trillion every 88 days. It's unsustainable. And the left could care less, because they're anarchists. You that are sane have to be looking at how to restrain the judicial madness. And the only way you can do it is that you got to have more seats in Congress. And right now, Wisconsin, true to the way they're doing, they're having a Supreme Court race. And if the lady who's a liberal gets that seat up there in Wisconsin, then they're going to redistrict and add 2 more congressional seats to the Democrats. 2 more seats are going to be added to the Democrats. We've got a margin like 1 or 2. They're going to add 2 right away. And they're going to do it through the courts. Again, redistricting. So our battle is now going to be like with the devil himself, the ultimate lawyer. We're going to have the Lord of Hosts as an advocate, which is why I want to change my program to be a 7M war room where we cover the Bible. And we cover what the Bible teaches. And then we bring in the current events. And then I tell you what's happening, but then we break it apart. Is it in education? Is it in the courts? Is it in economics? Where is it? There's only 7 areas where the battle shows up. But it's like whack-a-mole, boom, boom, boom. But if we pray as a people, I think we can win. So Father, I pray right now in the name of Jesus that you're saving America with great mercy. I pray divine protection over the President of the United States, over his health, over his heart, over his mind. I pray for the moving of the needle, Lord. Let truth consume the lies, and let the American public hear arguments of the Spirit that will drive away the distortion and manipulation of lies. And I pray that there will be a new surge of righteous judges in the earth and in the United States. Righteous judges. Judges that will rule justly and righteously and not become political pawns. I pray, Father, that you will restrain the madness of these 900 activist judges, that you will cause the Supreme Court. I bind every influence on the minds and hearts and social circle of these justices. And I pray especially, Lord, for Justice Roberts and Justice Amy Coney Barrett, that your hand will come upon them and that you will insulate them from the manipulation of spirits and forces that would cause them to deviate from a path of recovery and reformation for America. And let your hand be on them in strength. In Jesus' name. All right, that's what I wanted to say. So, love you guys. And tell me, how many of you love candles? Oh, no, look, that one blew out. That one blew out. That one blew out. These 2 made it. I don't know if my new idea is going to work here. I'll have to figure this one out. If you love candles, let me know. We're going to light a candle. Light a candle, torch for liberty. All right, I'll catch you later. God bless you. Bye-bye.